Oh man. Oh man. Hi. I I had to interrupt the video and then I inadvertently stopped it. So now I have to redo the whole thing and I usually don't like to do that. I like to do the video and there it is. No rehearsing or whatnot. So um let's see. I didn't do my opening spiel. Hi. I hope everyone is doing well. It is December 16th, 2017. It's my day 1.218, I think. Kind of late in the day. And I wanted to make a video about I'm trying to remember what I said like 30 seconds ago, and then I had to stop the video. About name changes. I'm kind of toying with the idea. I noticed that my mom, tonight I noticed it. She's been calling me Karen, which is my middle name. And it's kind of grown on me going by Karen instead of Robin. And I think the reason why is because I changed my name to Robin in the 90s, some 20 plus years ago. And I've been going by Robin ever since, with Karen being my middle name, that of course I never had to use. Having a gender neutral, ambiguous name was kind of a plus as I transitioned, because I wasn't going from Joe to Josephine, or Carl to Sophia. I was able to keep my name, etc., etc. Even though, obviously some 20 some odd years ago, I knew what I wanted to do. So I kind of like the idea of not using the gender neutral name anymore, and that's kind of growing on me, and I'm kind of playing with it. And what I was thinking was, after I have my surgery, which might be sometime between, I'm gonna guess, March and July, coming up, like 5 or 6 months from now. If all goes well, I go back in January. That maybe when I leave the hospital, I leave the hospital as Karen Parks, or our Karen Parks. You know what I mean? Go by Karen. I mean, I'm not going to change my name again, but it's kind of growing on me. And I think the idea being that it's Karen is not a gender neutral name, at least not in America. You don't see too many male Karens. I've never met one. Excuse me. So it's kind of cool, and we'll kind of see. And I don't think that I fool anyone. But I, as far as being transgender, I think when people meet me, they know I'm trans. But today was kind of an example of how everything happens when it does go your way. My daughter had a robotics competition this morning, and while I was there, custodian, I was standing along the wall with some other folks, and the custodian come over and he said, ma'am, can I get you a chair? And I said, no, I'm all right, but thank you. And he says, well, I don't mind getting you a chair. Let me get you a chair. And I said, okay. And he brought me a chair, and I said, thank you very much. Bless your heart. I appreciate it. And I sat down, crossed my legs, was wearing my normal skirt, and it felt so right. It felt so appropriate. Everything happened. And again, I kind of like I said about that, when you're known when you have a traditionally female, stereotypical female name, I think it helps, and it's also a double-edged sword, though. If you are, if your false male, when you're starting, is some horrendously masculine name, I don't know, I'm gonna say Thomas, and that don't take that against if you were given Thomas as a name, if you were, I don't know, and then you go to some effeminate name, I'm pretty sure it is kind of a slap in the face to your parents who named you, and all the other things. It's a challenge, and so by going to something neutral, it kind of helps that. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Making this up as I go. But it was neat today to have that affirmation, and again to just feel it, cross my legs, and I was just sitting pretty, or as close as I can get it. Another topic. So far I have given my daughter, and I still give my daughter full reign as to what she wants to call me in public. But I did ask her the other day how would she feel about calling me Maddy in public. And the reason being is she likes to go, Daddy! And I love her enthusiasm. But when here's what happened 2 days ago. We're in the grocery store, cart to cart, surrounded by people. And, on the one hand, I'm so happy that she's so comfortable with me and she accepts me and everything. But to look at me and go, Daddy, can we get this? I really want this, Daddy. It's like, and heads turn and you're like, oh, God. It's me. Again, she's on the cusp of, I think, going into middle school next year. And I tried to explain to her, I said, I am not ashamed to be your father. And I hope you are not ashamed that since I have transitioned that I am your father. I said, but you may find yourself in a couple years where you're talking with someone on the school bus or someone you've just met in the lunchroom, and you may find referring to me as your mom or one of your moms or Maddy. I said, I'm sure some people are going to be comfortable with it, but some people are going to not be comfortable with it, and they may use that against you. People can be mean and cruel. Adults can be mean and cruel. It's not limited to kids with rampaging hormones. But I will abide by what she wanted. And she did say that Maddy rhymes with Daddy, and that does make sense. So we'll see. We really haven't had a chance to do it. But back to my mom's phone call. My mom called last night while I was out at the grocery store and talked to my daughter. And throughout the conversation, she said, oh, I was calling to talk to Karen. Me. She didn't say your daddy or your father. Is your dad home? Can I speak to your dad? My mom said, is Karen there? Can I speak to Karen? Can you give Karen a message? Karen called and asked about skin tone and jewelry. Was it a joke, and tried to have a little bit of fun with my daughter. But again, that is what my mom is doing. And that is not something I asked her to do. I'm very happy for it because it might help my daughter begin to, I don't know. I still call my dad, and my mom, and I'm 45 years old, 45 and a half years old. But I don't know. And back to the idea of Maddy, as this goes forward, again, I don't know. We'll have to see. As my daughter gets a little older, I may very well, if my transition continues to happen, which I no doubt that it will, but hang on just a sec. Izzy, shh. I'm gonna look like an aunt to my own daughter, you know what I mean? Or I'd be tickled pink. I mean, I guess when I take her to the doctor's office, they call, we go to the immediate care center and they say, they'll ask, are you mom or your mom? I'm like, mm-hmm. And oh, now my voice is resonating. Oh, darn it. Drink my tea. Shut up and drink your tea, right? I don't change my voice, but I soften. You know what I mean? The resonance is what kills it. See, now I'm trying to go higher. Oh, I'm a shit, aren't I? But they'll say, you know, Mom, you know, what are her symptoms and whatnot, and they do that at the dentist office too. So that's kind of some developments and something to share. Again, and I've said it before, but for all my fears and concerns about what my daughter was going to do and was she still going to love me and all that, I mean, yeah, they do. Kids are wonderful. It's the adults that have the problem. But I also saw my ex-wife today and her girlfriend at my daughter's competition, and I went out of my way to say hello, and it was nice to see them both and be very sociable. You know, it'd be interesting to see if I do hook up with a guy. And again, I don't think I'm going to meet anybody till after I have surgery. But you know, again, can you imagine? I mean, back to the idea of being Maddy. So I'm not called Daddy, you know, but being in a situation of being in a heterosexual couple, a man and a woman, will the assumption be that I am the wife or the mother? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of neat to see how it plays out. And I can't think of anything. Oh, last thing. My tech, as you know, as part of leading up to my second consultation. When I went to my first consultation last year, I had 4 or 5 sessions of electrolysis on my surgical site, and so I've had 2 1 hours in this cycle. I'm going for my 3rd appointment, 45 minutes on this upcoming week. But the tech really said, you know, you can shave your hair even less and you know, lower. And so that's what I did. So I put the 1/8 of an inch guard on it. And it really is a funky feeling to to do that to yourself. And you're pulling and twisting and turning and go the other way. But yeah, I mean, I didn't do that with the first time. First time I did this about 6 months ago, the electrolysis. And I think it'll help numb. The cream will get in my skin as opposed to sitting on top of the hairs. And also it'll be a little easier for her to get the hairs if they're a little shorter. That way that they're not like on top of each other crisscross, you know, confusion. There'll be little, you know, I guess if it would be like that, little hairs. And she can just go boop, 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 boop. So that's what I did tonight. Is I shaved and looking very different. I was never blessed with a large appendage. I was never blessed with a large anatomy. It seems like it shrunk. That's all I can say. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't get used, you know, so it would shrivel up. But again, to look at it, you can see where she's done it, and if only our beard and mustache and all that was as quick as that, but still hurts like the Dickens. And on that note, I think that is it. I just wanted to kind of touch base and talk about a couple things going on, and yeah, another day in the life, you know, another day. Isn't it nice to be alive? That's what I would say to anybody. All right, my friends, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my tea, and I will toast you, and I hope that everyone is doing well in their journey, in their transition, and not to give up. I've seen some posts lately from some of my friends about doubt, and doubt is definitely part of this process, but I think doubt can be somewhat healthy in that it's a good way to evaluate a decision. But when we're paralyzed with doubt, I think that's when it becomes a little bit, um, and I don't think I could ever say I have no doubt, blah 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 blah. I have a very rational mind, and so I have to think about things and come to a conclusion. And I guess after that point, then yeah, I don't have any doubt. But keep your mind open, I guess, is what I'm saying. All right, so I'm going to raise this up so you might see green in my eyes. There that goes. And until next time, good luck in your transition and good luck in your journey. Bye-bye.